Where's Loki? I'm gonna sit y'all right here. I should be good to go. Oh, Loki. Zoom it out a little so you can see Loki sitting there. I'm gonna wait a few minutes to see if people are gonna come in. I have an empty house. Got kids at work, and because my sons like to work. And actually, I think one is gone to Busch Gardens, it looks like, with his girlfriend. Hey John, I can see the chat right now. I'm kind of washing some dishes, and I'm a hot mess. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't look my best. That's why I'm not focusing on myself. I'm washing some dishes, and so you hear some clanking. Just let me know in the chat if you can hear my voice. It's gonna quiet down for a second while I'm just kind of waiting for more people to get in before I start talking. I have a like I said, an empty house, so I'm just gonna wait a few minutes and do my thing. Wait for people to get in here. I've been thinking a lot about Simone Biles, and I kind of wanted to talk about that. That's what this one's gonna be about. Maybe some ASMR. You're watching the cat? Hey, Rough and Ready. Awesome. Some water ASMR. Yep, that's my kitty. He's real. He's not moving much right now. Loki, what are you doing? Loki. Get it. Can you move to just more than your ear or something so people know you're real? Huh? Can you do that? Huh? Weirdo. I love you though. I love you so much. You're mama's kitty. I'm mama's baby boy. Aren't you? he's such a turd. He really is. He is the funniest cat. Probably with the biggest personality that I've ever owned. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Sometimes he thinks he's a dog. We sit down for a meal and he's like all over us like a dog would be, begging for food. He's just a trip. So I'm gonna be making my son's birthday cake while I talk to you guys. It's an ice cream sandwich cake. I was hoping that I would get a mod or something in here, or I'm gonna go post in Slack real quick. I'm gonna put it in Slack. Pull up my main one. YouTube. I think I will leave it there. I think I'll leave the camera there. Where are you going, Loke? Your fans want to see you. Yes, I don't know if you all have heard about Simone Biles. She's an American gymnast representing the U.S. She's a very decorated American gymnast. The top. Apparently, she's the top in the world. Very, very, very good at her craft. She's been to the Olympics before now. This is not her first rodeo. All right, let me move some of this over. So I'm not sure who has heard that. I think she had a little bit of a bobble. American, yes, she's American. She was representing the United States in gymnastics. Like I said, very, very, very good, top of the line athlete. And when she was competing recently, hold on a second, I gotta tear some foil. competing recently, she took there was a dismount on one of the apparatuses. American in her, that's a deep question. I get what you're asking. I think so, yeah. I think absolutely. My opinion of her, I guess that's something that she would have to answer ultimately. But from what I've seen, yes, in her heart, she's an American. And went over to truly represent the United States. Let's see. Let me see if I can't go and share this in Slack real quick. She had a bit of a mistake on her dismount, and she was supposed to do like a 2.5 twisting thing, which turned into a 1.5, and I believe she took a few steps too. She didn't land it properly. And for her to do something like that was like really very rare for her. I mean, that's how good this girl is. She's not just good in her mind. She's actually crazy good. So, to see her make that kind of a mistake is very shocking, to say the least. So, when they went to the team competition, and so the team competition, you basically, sorry, excuse me for a minute with the, yeah, and I hadn't read that, Greg. So, but I'm kind of just giving some background. And then I'll give my opinion on it, my thoughts on it. Because I think it's multifaceted. I think a lot of people are looking at it as a black and white thing. It's this or that. But I think I think there's a lot, I think it's a bigger picture thing, and people just look at people's lives and they think that they know what's going on. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of things going on that people just they don't know, and maybe they don't need to know. But anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. So apparently when they went for the team competition, now for those of you who don't follow gymnastics, they do a team competition. So they take 4 girls and 4 ladies, and they compete on all, let me know if the noise gets to you, then I'll stop, or I'll try to quiet it down. Like I said, I'm making my son's ice cream sandwich cake for his birthday. He turned 21 on Tuesday, and we're going over to my mom and dad's house tonight to kind of have cake. So I'm making that right now to get it in the freezer. So when you go to the team competition, you take basically the 4 top scoring girls, and it's an all around thing. So you visit each apparatus and compete against the other teams, basically, without getting too into the statistical logistics of it. So you are a team, and apparently in the midst of it, Simone dropped out. She decided to pull herself out of the team competition, leaving her 3 teammates to step up and pick up her missing piece, her missing scores, such and such, and have to fight for that gold medal with just 3 team members versus the rest of the teams that were there, including the Russians, who were extremely good. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know the results, if you're DVRing it or whatever, you're going to go back and watch it. Mute it right now, because the Russians ended up winning gold, and the Americans the 3 girls fought back and came back and won silver. So I've seen so much on both sides. People saying, hold on, I gotta go get the ice cream sandwiches. I'm sorry. Time out. Okay, so I've seen a lot of different media outlets and things, and I follow a lot of independent journalists, and because I don't like mainstream media. Can I say that on here? I don't know. I don't like the news. So I follow a lot of independent journalists, and so I've seen even conflicting stuff with them, and I'm not one to quickly form an opinion on people, because I think that people are all different. We're all different. We all have life experiences that are different, and you can't say, well, I did this growing up, or I had this growing up, and think that somebody else might be exactly a carbon copy of you, because it just doesn't happen. Everybody's different. Even in the same family, you can be born into the same family and have an extremely different experience being raised by the same exact two parents as your siblings did. So it lends itself to the fact that somebody who's a stranger to you, even if you might have the same types of upbringing, whether it be socioeconomic or racial or whatever it is going to be different from you. So I always hold back my judgment on people until I find out, or I really research things. So I've been seeing things about her on both sides. Oh, she's a quitter. She's this. She abandoned her team. To she's a hero. She's standing up for herself. And so, okay. Well, let's talk about the quitting part. The quitting part. All right. Well, she did. She quit. She pulled back and bailed on her team. I saw the press conference, and I listened to them all four of them, and generally I can pick up on vibes of people, and I kind of felt like, in my opinion, it wasn't a light. Simone didn't take it lightly. She didn't come to the decision of pulling out lightly. It wasn't something that, when you use the word quit, you're a quitter, it kind of feels like you're painting a person as a toddler who is just going to pick up their toys. They didn't get their way. They're picking up their toys and they're going home. And I don't see Simone as that. I got the impression of her at the press conference that she was reading her own body. She knew something was going on inside her. She knew what her normal level was. She probably, through all of her training, because these are people who train every day for hours on days. She knows her own self at her worst. She knows her own body at her best. So when she's, considering everything, she knows herself. None of us do. So I'm absolutely positive that stepping down from that competition was not something that she just did on a whim. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I just kind of got that vibe. You get to that level of competition, and she's been there before. She's a veteran, right? She's a veteran to the Olympic Games. This is not her first time under this much pressure. So she knows how to deal with the Olympic level pressure, okay? So that's why I'm saying this is something I really believe that was not easy for her to do. Now, as far as her teammates go, the teammates seemed like, to me, Like they may have been a little thrown off by her pulling out, maybe even a little bit upset with her, and rightfully so. I can see why they would be upset, but I think, and I was talking with my mother about this the other day, I think that if as they're also high level athletes, right? They're professionals and they're Olympic level athletes. So I think that initial shock and being upset that their teammate is pulling out and abandoning them, because that might be their first feeling. We're all humans and we have feelings. Maybe they were angry, maybe they were upset at first, and rightfully so. Nobody can tell a human being that they can't feel that way, right? But they pulled themselves together and they came and they won that silver medal. Knowing that, what would the alternative be? Well, I mean, if Simone's not in the right place mentally, what would have happened? She may have brought them down. They may not have been in medal position. She may have made a lot of mistakes. She may have injured herself really badly. We don't know. Only God knows that, and what would have happened if she hadn't pulled out. But all I'm saying here is that there are so many facets to this. And then let's address the hero. For me, a hero isn't. That's not a hero. Loki, chill out. That's not a hero. A lot of people are calling Simone a hero. She's not a hero. Those other three athletes that overcame their emotions are the heroes. They're the ones that should be talked about. Let's talk about them. Let's talk about those three young ladies who came back after being told, hey, the best gymnast in the world that was your teammate, she's not with you anymore, so go out there and do your best. They're the ones that are the quote-unquote heroes, if you want to call athletes heroes, which I guess depending on your definition of a hero, they could be. If you're a child and you're looking up to the gymnasts and all that, they're the ones that rallied together and they came back and they fought together and they won the silver medal. In my book, a hero, being called a hero has a slightly larger definition. I think that heroes are the ones that ran into the building on 9/11 while everyone else was running out. Anyone who sacrifices or believes that they're getting ready, that they could be sacrificing their own life to save another, that's a hero to me. But anyways, I think our military are largely heroes. I think our police are largely heroes. And I think our firemen are largely heroes. I think, anytime you give your life or potentially give your life to save another, that to me is a hero. Now you can be strong and brave, but maybe not so much a hero. Anyways, I think Simone did the right thing. That's basically what I'm saying. I think she did the right thing. I think that self-care in this world is lacking, especially for women. I'm not a feminist. I love men. I'm not saying that in a way where, you know what, I'm married, happily married. I'm not a man hater. But I think that women need to chill out and take better care of themselves and just sit back and really take stock. I think Simone should, if she felt it in herself that she needed to pull back, I think she did the right thing. That's what it boils down to. I don't know what your thoughts are in the chat. And the thing that occurred to me was that, this Olympics is different. So you take somebody like Simone and all these other athletes that are over there now that have been to the Olympics before, and they have always had cheering crowds, which if you think that doesn't make a difference, it does. If you listen to the soccer games, I was watching the replay of the USA team last night. I forget who they played to get to the semifinals. I was watching the replay last night with my oldest son, and I noticed I could hear a little bit. It sounded to me like they had that canned cheering in. It makes a difference. So they didn't have that. They don't have that piped in for them. That makes a difference. So that's messing with them mentally. They don't have that. They don't have their family members there with them. So her family is all the way across the ocean. They're here in the U.S. She has no family support system there with her. She's had that in the past. That is a huge deal. It would be to me. You're in a foreign country, especially if you already have anxiety type issues. And I think, Greg, you said something about her medication. Oh my gosh, what a perfect storm for a mental crisis. I mean, it really is. Everything is different now. Yes, the crowd, the noise, the cheering, even the booing gets you amped up. It gets your adrenaline flowing. And all of that is missing for these people. And then they added no family there to cheer you on. I mean, think about it. You can't even look up in the stands and see your mom. And you have to go over to the TV screen and say hi to them. And then I watched her, she turned around and to get them on the screen behind her so she could take a selfie with her family on the TV screen behind her. I mean, how sad. And yes, they're all competing that way. That's a level playing field. But when you've been used to having them in years past, when you've been to the Olympics and you've been under that Olympic level stress, and now all of a sudden you're not, people can say what they want to say, toughen up or blah, 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 or it sucks for everybody. Well, that, to me, I don't take stock in that, because you're not really thinking. People have to stop and think and put themselves in that position and see the gray areas and really think about the humanity, the humanness of a person. I don't know. I think she did the right thing. I do. I think she did the right thing. I don't believe that she should be getting extra press and praise over it. I think her teammates should be the ones whose names are out there and getting the press and the praise for doing their thing, because that's what athletes do. They face a tough thing and they get up and they keep moving, right? But I think Simone needs a break, and I think she needs to take care of herself. Made her get off of medicines she's taken for years. Yeah, I think that's terrible. Yeah, and so many are first-time Olympians and work their whole life for this moment. I feel really bad for the first-time Olympians. Well, I mean, but the first-time Olympians is kind of different, because they're there. They don't know anything different. They're feeling the pressure of the Olympics, but this is their first time, so they walk into the quiet arena, and they've also probably been competing in their trials and semifinals or whatever it is they call in their respective sport to get to the Olympics. They've probably been competing in empty stadiums and such, leading up to all of this. So they're probably a little bit more used to the emptiness, especially they don't know any different when they walk into the Olympic arena. They don't know what it would feel like to be a full arena and to feel that energy and to have your support family up in the stands cheering for you and being able to look up at them in their face physically there. Or when you're done on an apparatus. You know, I've watched gymnastics in the Olympics for years. I'm old. The athlete would get done on a piece of apparatus and they would go over to their family and speak to them or hug them or you know, it's so different this time. It's sad. It's really sad. And Simone is used to that and getting that support. And it's not there this year. It's different. Maybe she thought she would be okay with that. And then it's something, you know, that she is finding out that she's not. And it's like a perfect storm was created. If she's now not allowed to take medication, she has nobody there. She started to make these little mistakes. Loki. Am I what? Yeah, so anyways, yeah, I'm making this cake. And now I'm just kind of babbling. I was just thinking about that a lot. It was laying on my heart heavy. I think maybe people should give her a little grace. Let her go take care of herself. And if it were my daughter, this is one time in her life. This is one moment. And an injury, especially a severe injury, nobody wants to see an athlete injure themselves, especially something that would be devastating for the rest of their life, a life-threatening or life-altering injury. It could happen in gymnastics, these things that these athletes do, and she does some of the most dangerous moves. She could have done something and broken her neck, and I mean, I kind of question the people that are being so harsh. Would you rather her have gone through and done something like that? I mean, would you rather have seen that? I don't know. I think back to Carrie Scruggs, and I've seen a lot of people compare that to this, and that was totally different. You can't compare apples to oranges. Totally different environment, totally different support. When you're talking about her coaching staff, she had the best coach in the entire universe, and just totally different story. And she was amazing. Take nothing away from Carrie. She was absolutely amazing. She was the gymnast who did the oh, I'm old. Well, I'll be 50 this year. So, she was the gymnast who was doing the vaults, and she had the coach, the team, the husband and wife from Romania. And I think they had coached, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know that you will if you're watching and you know gymnastics better than I do. They coached Nadia Comaneci. And I wish I could think of their names. Oh shoot, I gotta get the Cool Whip. Anyways, but she was the gymnast who, in the team competition, she did her first vault and she injured herself on the first vault. And they were questioning whether or not she was going to be able to do the second vault. And she kept insisting she wanted to do it. They didn't want her to because her injury was so bad. But she kept insisting that she wanted to do it. She wanted to do it. So her coach finally said, okay, we're going to let her. And she didn't want to quit. Didn't want to quit. But that was a physical injury, you know, and it was her leg. So she went on to do the second vault, and she stuck the landing, man. She stuck that landing. And as soon as she stuck it, she pulled that, you know, her injured leg up and started hopping on one leg, and you could just see the pain in her face, and I believe she broke her leg. But you know, mentally she was there. She was fierce, man, fierce, and in the competition, and it was amazing to watch her. I remember watching her and just wow. And then her coach had to carry her out, and then she was I think she was on crutches for the awards, I believe. But anyways, yeah, so. Hey, Rosalita. Hey, Carol. I don't think I even really, yeah, you're right. Her ankle, yeah. It was her ankle. Oh my gosh, it was so painful to watch, but it was so inspiring to watch it. I'll watch it, just that portion of it. No matter what's in this Rough and Ready, no matter what she does, there are going to be people out there that's not going to like it. It's a catch-22. And you're right. You're exactly right. But she has to do what she needs to do for herself and just ignore everybody else that tells her that she's wrong. I mean, honestly, you have to take care of yourself. And there's no apologies, right? You know, when I need my time, I tell people, this is for me. I'll go in my craft room and say, and close the door. It's my time. If it's an emergency, you can come on up. Otherwise, I'm crafting, or I'm doing this, or whatever. Or when I go to bed, sometimes I'll go to bed early. Contrary to what Ethan says, I'll go to bed and I'll read. So yeah, it's just self-care. Self-care, guys. Get you a journal. That's one big thing. Get you a journal and a bicycle. A journal and a bicycle. That's what I always recommend to people. I have a little journal. It's not a little journal. It's a journal, and I have a special set of pens that I only use in that journal. It's a set of gel pens. And I don't really write like in paragraphs. That's not the way I journal. And I don't maintain a strict journaling regimen. Like, I don't do it every day like it's a diary, because that's too constricting for me, because then I set myself up to fail. Because I don't always do something every day. Like, I don't always get on YouTube every day. I'm not gonna set a schedule, because it's a fly by the seat of my pants kind of production here. And so I journal when I feel like it. When I feel sad, I'll pull it out. I might doodle a little bit with my gel pens, and that's why I have gel pens, because I like to use my different colors depending on my mood. If I'm mad, I'll pull it out. If I'm scared or upset, I'll pull it out, or I might write down just the feelings that I'm feeling. I might write down angry, and a lot of exclamation points. And it might sound juvenile to you, but it kind of gets the emotion out. Or I feel like blah, blah, blah. And nobody reads it, because nobody knows where it is but me. And I move it around sometimes, just in case, because I have a little kid who likes to try to snoop for gifts and things, so I would not want him to find it. There may or may not be curse words in it. But, it's just my little thing for me to get my emotions out. And it keeps me happy. It keeps me sane. And it's just really, it's, in the whole scheme of things, it's meaningless, because it's my way of venting. Let's just say that. I never really mention names of anything. It's because it's all about how I'm feeling. And I feel like that causes me to, if I can get it out in that way, then that causes me to not take it out on people. It should be Signal. I'm showing their Signal. Am I buffering? I'll show you the cake when I'm done. It's a very, very, very simple cake. It's nothing like Mommy Rambling's ice cream sandwich cake. I know it is early for some of you guys, isn't it? Is it really buffering? It shouldn't be. Is that the middleman? Yep, I should be getting a package today from Craft Outlet. They were fast with their shipping today. I mean, this time. Okay, your screen froze. Maybe it was my internet back now. Oh, good. Okay, good. Hey, Bergstrong. I'm kind of done talking about the Simone Biles thing. So if you guys want to hear it, you can rewind. I might clip it out and like post it just by itself. If I can. I mean, that's kind of a fancy thing to do. I haven't gotten that fancy. Because then you lose the chat and I don't know. I don't know. I think that's what happens and I don't want that to happen. So this ice cream sandwich cake I'm making, it's not fancy. But this is the cake that my kids love. I made it years and years ago. I think it was a coworker that made it for like a function at work. And this is one of my boys, my two oldest boys. Look, all three of my kids are by the same baby daddy. If you didn't know my backstory. I have two that are, one is 21, he just turned 21 this week. And then I have a son that's 18, he just graduated from high school and started an apprenticeship. He wants to become a master electrician. So he just started an apprenticeship with a local electrician. And he's going to school in the fall. And they are paying for his education. And then, so we had those two pretty much back to back. Well, about almost 3 years separate them, which is totally what we planned. 100% what we planned. Then I got cancer. And I went through chemotherapy and I almost died. And literally, I'm not making light of it. I did almost die. I wanted to kill myself. Literally, I wanted to commit suicide. If I didn't have my two boys, I would have. We tried to adopt from China. That's a whole nother story in itself. And that all, wow, that's a total different story. And that all fell through. And years later, after being told that my ovaries were shrunk and shriveled and fried by chemotherapy, and the endocrinologist, the reproductive endocrinologist said, there's no hope for you. And I'll give him this, he did work with us for a while. He washed his hands of us, and by that time I was an emotional mess. I got pregnant, had a miscarriage, another emotional mess. It was like back to back too. It was like within 2 months. The endocrinologist washed his hands of us, released us from treatment. And then I got pregnant like 2 months later and miscarried. And then, I don't know, we just kind of like, screw all this. We're happy. I kind of made up my mind. I'm done with this. I can't go through this emotion anymore. I really, really, really wanted 3 kids. Like, I just really wanted 3 kids. So probably about October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. It was early August of that. So about 9 months later, I was having severe back pain like for a month. And my husband kept telling me, you need to do a pregnancy test. I'm not pregnant, man. I'm not pregnant. We know that this can't happen. And if I was, I really just, we were getting ready to schedule my husband's vasectomy, and we had just been putting it off. Life kind of gets in your way. We had 2 little ones that were active in sports, and just vacation and jobs, and we were getting ready to schedule it. And you need to do a pregnancy test. I'm telling you, that's what this is. And I had a heating pad that I was using at work, and I'm thinking, I'm scared to do any kind of testing. I'm thinking my cancers come back in a different way. I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I worked for a nurse practitioner a few years before who started getting severe back pain, and it turns out she had bone cancer. So I had that in my head, very irrational thinking. Which you would think, well, okay, so go get a pregnancy test, and if it's positive, then you don't have cancer. I was scared. I didn't want the emotions. I didn't want to know if I was pregnant, because I didn't want to get my hopes up again and then miscarry again. I'll be honest. So I kept putting it off. Finally, I just got tired of Todd nagging at me to do it. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it, and you're going to be wrong, and we're going to go on with our life. So, my cycles were extremely irregular, if non-existent at that point. I felt like I was going into menopause. And even though I was young, the chemotherapy was really messing with me. So I was at work. I left. I went to Dollar Tree, got 2 pregnancy tests. And because, ladies, those pregnancy tests at Dollar Tree, they are just as good as the high dollar ones that you get in the drugstores, and they're pretty much the same ones that your OBGYN uses. That's just a tip for you. I used to work for an OBGYN, so that is the truth. So anyways, I went and got 2 pregnancy tests from the Dollar Tree. Came back to work. I was on my lunch break. Went into the company bathroom. Peed on one. Stood there and watched it turn positive. I was like, oh, hell no. I know this is not happening. I didn't want him to be right. So I sat down and I took the other one. I squeezed and pushed until I had enough to take the other one. Damn, that one didn't come up positive too. I was like, well, hell no. He's going to be right and I'm wrong. And So I came out of the bathroom and I went over to my very good friend and I shoved him in front of her face. I said, what the heck does this look like to you? And she looks at me and she said, well, congratulations, you're pregnant. I was like, oh, hell no. Yeah, but I was scared to get excited. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so scared to get excited, but I snapped a picture of the tests and I sent them to him, and he sent back laughing emojis. And I was forced to tell him that you were right, mark it on your calendar, you were right. And we have Ethan. So that was a very tumultuous pregnancy, by the way, just because that's Ethan's nature. I was in and out of the hospital with preterm labor and yeah. But anyways, same baby daddy, 3 different babies. He is not my grandson. He is my son, and he is 9, and he is the joy of my life. He keeps me on my toes. He is wise beyond his years. He is a gift from the Lord above. He is my rainbow baby. Rainbow baby refers to babies who are blessed to families after miscarriages and stillbirths. So he is definitely my rainbow baby. Not that my other 2 aren't the loves of my life. They are, and they both have some of the best qualities of young men that you'll ever meet. And I can honestly say that because they are very, very, very good humans. Those who have met them can vouch for them because they know the repercussions if they're not. So, there's the cake. Did anybody new join us? Never underestimate the ovaries. Never underestimate the Lord. I'm going to tell you that because that was a miracle that the Lord gave us. He knew my heart. He knew my mama's heart. And he knew that I wanted another baby. He knew my family wasn't complete, even though we thought that it was. We had resigned ourselves to the fact that we had thought that we were done. And we were fine with it. My heart had settled. My spirit had settled. And I was fine and just prepared to love on these two little boys for forever. And the Lord stepped in and said, now that you've accepted the two that I've given you as being enough, here's your extra gift. You know, it's like I had to get to that point where I was good. You know, I was good, and I accept these two as being enough, and this is my family, and I'm at peace with everything you've given me and everything you've blessed me with. Then he stepped in and said, okay, so here's one more. And he gave us Ethan, and it's just been a blessing, and it's just been so much fun. And he's actually out on the golf course with his daddy right now. He loves to play golf, and Todd is in heaven because the other two never took to it. And Todd loves golf, and he's always wanted a golf buddy, so he has one now. But anyways, yes, this is the ice cream sandwich cake. So I buy the Food Line brand. My daddy is allergic to eggs, and these don't have eggs in them, although I'm not sure that the brand names don't, but I know for a fact these don't, and he does not have an allergic reaction to the Food Line brand of ice cream sandwiches. So I buy these specifically because of my daddy, and he loves this cake. My daddy, he loves this cake. So really it's for my boys, but it's for my daddy too. So I buy the box, I buy the family pack. It's more economic. There's 24 in here. You end up with 3 extra, which is good. And you layer them. I layer them in a row. I don't know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like 7 in a row. The whole. And I have a video on here if you want the whole demonstration. And then I cut them in half, and then I lay the halves, and then I put a layer of, let me get it. Put a layer of, I use Smucker's because I like Smucker's. It tastes the most like Shoney's hot fudge cake, hot fudge. And that's always been my favorite since I was a little girl. So I put half a jar, I heat it up in the microwave. You don't have to get it too hot, just enough to smooth it real well. I put half a jar of the Smucker's hot fudge down on top of the ice cream sandwiches, and then half a container of the Cool Whip. So I divide that in half and I smooth that over. And then I just repeat the layer. The ice cream sandwiches, the hot fudge, and then the whipped cream. Now make sure you take the whipped cream out of the freezer, put it in your fridge, and let it completely thaw. 100% thaw in the fridge naturally. Don't put it on the counter. Don't put it in the microwave. I've done both of those things, and it just does not turn out fluffy like this. Then all I'm going to do, because my kids are not picky, I'm just going to use the cupcake icing and just kind of decorate it. I'm not a great cake decorator, but they don't care. It tastes good. And that's that. So you can do all kinds of different things with it. You can add chocolate chips to it. I think when it was Carson's birthday and I made his for him, he wanted the mini chocolate chips on it. So I sprinkled those on top. I've done it with crushed Oreos in the middle, but you want to be sparse with them, because if you put too many in there, it just gets really, 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 really sweet with the hot fudge. You could crush up anything and put it in the middle. You can also vary your ice cream sandwich flavors if you want to, because I know they sell a lot of different flavors. But yeah, that's it. Now I'm just going to cover it with with some more aluminum foil very loosely over the top and stick it back in the freezer, and it should be ready to go for tonight. So that's it. But those are my thoughts. I had them running around in my head this morning, and I wanted to get them out. So just, guys, don't be too hard on each other. I guess that's my main point. People know their limits, and there's always two sides. And maybe we should be talking more about the other three who stepped up to the plate and won the silver for the United States. The Russians were a force to be reckoned with, I know. But I think those girls did a wonderful job. Maybe I'll go live at some point and let's talk about those three girls. So maybe we'll do some porch time tomorrow night, and I'll briefly focus on those three. A quick live on those three, and then I'll come back and we'll do porch time. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe. I fly by the seat of my pants. So. Yes, crushed up Butterfingers would be good. Ooh, or crushed up Reese's peanut butter cups. It'll melt by the time I send it to you. Yes, it would. Oh, well, make it over there. You guys have some in the UK. You guys have some great chocolate and stuff. You could really make it your own over there. You don't need all the exact same ingredients. I'm sure you've got some things that are comparable over there that you could use. For sure. All right, I'm going to end this live. I need something to eat, and I'm going to go drink another cup of coffee. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, 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 if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. I always forget to ask that. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs, and thank you to Carolyn. I'm going to squash that rumor, and people love to say that Carolyn doesn't support channels and support other channels. She's always supported me. Let me go off on a tangent here. I'm going to go off. She's always supported me, guys. Before I supported myself, Carolyn supported me. I volunteered to come on her channel and hit the bell. Thank you, Bergstrong. I'm going to put y'all back on the window because I got to rinse my hands off. I'm going to wipe my hands because they're sticky. So this is quick, and then I will let you go for sure. But just shout out to Carolyn, because I volunteered years ago to teach a craft on her channel, and I happened to be on vacation when we scheduled it, which was completely fine. It turned out to be very fun. My whole family participated in it. The video is still up on her channel if you search for it. And we had such a fun time. And Carolyn said, go ahead, tell me about your channel, and what do you have on your channel? And I said, well, I don't have a channel. And she said, yeah, you do. What do you have about you? Let's talk about your channel. So she was trying to promote my channel when I really didn't have one. And see, most people have found me through Carolyn. So she was like pushing me and to support, to promote myself on her channel. And so through the years, she's promoted me. So people who say that she doesn't promote and support other channels, they're lying. Probably what's happened to those people who say that are the ones that come in and push themselves. And they self-promote without humbling themselves first. You don't go in to a channel and push your own channel. You don't do that. You just don't do that. I mean, it's just so rude. It's so rude. So people who self-promote from the beginning, people who get on panels and that's all they talk about is their own channel, and they're not even established in that person's channel. I mean, Scooter can get up there and talk about it. We know Scooter. We know Davita. We know these people. it's different. But if you come flat out into the channel and start talking about your channel, and I do this on my channel and I do that on my channel, that's just rude. And probably what's happened, we had somebody come in and she was all about her channel. 5 minutes till they go live, 10 minutes till they go live, like expecting Carolyn to shut her live down and go over there. I mean, there's no conversation behind the scenes, I guess is what I'm getting at. It's just so different. The atmosphere of that is different. And you presume so much. And I'm never asked to be promoted by Carolyn, ever. But yet she does it, I guess is what I'm saying. And she has a very kind heart, and she will promote smaller channels. Oh, you can. I'm small. I'm a small channel. You can talk about your channel here. Yes. It's just the ones, like, I had the live here, and it just struck me as so rude. I had my live for my 500 sub giveaway, and this is just the example. I had a 500 sub giveaway. And so I had the live, and it was so much fun. I had a ball. I hope those of you who were there for it had fun. I'll do another one at 1,000. And Ethan, we were old school, so we wrote the names down on pieces of paper and folded them up, and so you guys could see your name going in the bucket. And Ethan drew the name. So this person came into the live, and Duty Ron, if y'all don't know who Duty Ron is, go look up his channel. I think he's a great guy. I respect him. He's the only other channel on YouTube that I'm a member of. I've self-limited to 2 memberships just because it's, you can really get into spending a lot of money every month if you join everybody's memberships. But Carolyn, of course, and then Duty Ron. So anyways, Duty Ron had come into my chat to, just to be there and support and chat with people. And this person came into my chat, and she's like, "Hey, Duty Ron." The first thing out of her mouth, and I didn't see it because I was so involved in writing names down and things like that. I never saw it until I went back and watched the chat. And I was so pissed. She said, "Hey, Duty Ron, would you give me a shout out, me and my channel, a shout out on your channel?" I was livid. Oh, and I wish that I had seen it when it happened. I was so pissed. It is God's grace that I did not see it, that He gave me a blind eye to that, because it totally would have ruined the whole vibe of the live, because there are some things that I cannot control my mouth over. And in that moment, I would have had a very hard time controlling my mouth. She'd have gotten an earful. I'm very certain of it. I'm a very, very, very kind person. But when you start taking advantage of people right in front of their face, I will say so. I will call you out. I am a Southern woman. Those who say Virginia's not in the South, I beg to differ, because I'm a Southern woman, and I will call your shit out. Excuse me. Sorry if there's kids around. I will call your stuff out in a heartbeat if I see it play out right in front of me, if it's my platform. I respect other people's platforms. It is rude. It was so rude. And I felt so bad for Duty Ron. How dare she put Duty Ron in that position? I was so mad when I went back and saw that. I mean, he was just in there just chatting with people and having a good time. And she did that to him. Who does that? I mean, like, really? Who does that? She didn't even... that was the comment out of her mouth. "Hi, Duty Ron. You should give me a shout out on your channel." I mean, it's something to that effect. Oh my Lord. That's just, you don't do that. there's just respect. Just have respect for people. If you have respect for people and their channels, then you're going to get the respect back. And people are gracious. People like Carolyn are very gracious. They will give you the floor. She will give you the props. She will give you your moment. You don't have to be so mean and assume and rude. You know, it's just, when you're obvious and you come in and you try to use Carolyn for your own gain and your own channel, and you don't get what you want, those are the people that claim that Carolyn doesn't support channels, other channels. Those are the ones. That's what I'm saying. The ones who come in to her channel and want to be a part of her channel and what she's building and respect her, she respects them. Yes, me. Look at me. Come to my channel. Come to my channel. No. That's not what it's about. It's not what it should be about. Hey, Tammy. Hey, baby doe. I don't think I said hi to you. Yeah, there are lots of good people. There really are. But there are some really wicked, mean, crappy people. I just love her personality. I love her personality too. I think that she has a very dry sense of humor. She reminds me, I have two brothers and one sister, and one of my brothers is a lot like Carolyn. Like he he's very, he'll talk, he's talkative, but he has a very quiet sense of humor. Like, he'll watch, and then all of a sudden he'll come out with something, and it's hysterical. It's like you look at him and it's like, oh my God, that's hysterical. Like, and then you'll start just dying laughing. Like a sarcastic, dry sense of humor. And it's so funny. And not a lot of people understand that. And I think people with that kind of sense of humor get a bad rap. So, anyways, Carolyn is a good person, and I'll say this. People, when people see good, then people are drawn to light. People see a light in somebody. And I know I've said over and over I'm going to end this. But people see a light in somebody and they're drawn to it. It's like moths to a flame. They like that light and they're drawn to it. And the good people bask in the light of the other person, and they contribute. Like, they continue to give oxygen to that light, and they may add their shine, their own light, their own goodness, and they add to that person's light to make it even brighter, right? But then you have people who don't have the light. They don't have their own light, their own goodness, their own kindness, they're dark. And they see that light and they're drawn to it because they're fascinated by it. And I think that's kind of like moths. They're fascinated by that light. And they want it, and then it pisses them off because it burns them, and then they just want to put it out. They want to extinguish it. And I think that's a lot of these people on YouTube. They want to extinguish that light. The key to it is not letting them. Get that journal out when they piss you off. Because it happens. It's going to happen, and it'll happen again and again. And when one person gives up, there'll be another person. There's always going to be another Bobby. There's always going to be another recliner girl. There's always going to be somebody new. We've seen people come and go over the years in Carolyn's channel. We've seen it all. We've seen it almost, I can probably say nothing and no one surprises me anymore. We've seen it all. We have seen it all. I don't think it's all. I think some of it is jealousy. I think some of it is just some people try to use her platform because she is so gracious, and she doesn't really discriminate against people. Like, she'll give you the number to call in if you want to speak your piece. She'll talk to anybody as long as you're calm. She does apologize when she's wrong. I don't know. She's human. Everybody makes mistakes. So, I don't know. I think that's why a lot of us like her. She's just human. So, and she's not nasty. She's a good human. Yeah, that was the first experience that I had with that kind of Carol, with that kind of a personality. I had my own experience with someone from Twitter, and she actually had come into my real life, but to that level, to see that all play out was quite scary. But, you know, I've just seen so much that nothing surprises me. Nothing surprises me anymore. Like I said, there will always be another Bobby. If he gets tired and goes away and bothered, he's always going to bother somebody. He's always going to be the thorn in someone's side. You can't make these people happy. You can't be enough of a friend to these people. There's never going to be enough. It's never enough for them. And it's because they're not satisfied with who they are. They're just not satisfied with who they are as a person. So they're trying to figure out why they feel the way they feel, and they just can't figure it out. So, you know, drama is an adrenaline rush. So that's why a lot of them like the drama. So anyways, I could go on and on and on about all of this, but I'm hungry. And I need to put this cake in the freezer before it completely melts. So I'm going to end this. I'm going to read the last few comments. I have a step-by-step video. I will put it, how about this? I'll put the video for the ice cream sandwich cake. I'll put the link for it. I'll pin it in the comments for you guys. So you can see it. It's so easy and it's so good. But I'll pin it for you, baby doe, and you can watch, or anybody can watch it. Yeah, I will pin it for you. It's so good. It's so easy. I'm telling you, you will be in love with it. Even Ruby Ann. Hey, Ruby Ann, I don't think I said hi to you. Even when she's faced with hate, she responds respectfully. She does. And look, she sometimes has her moments, right? Where she goes off. But don't we all? Don't we all? I mean, it's in the moments that follow that matter and that make you who you are. And there are some times when you have a right to go off. You have a right to go off. Sometimes. So anyways, I'll leave it at that. Everyone has a breaking point, exactly. So I'm just gonna leave it with that, and I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna post the ice cream sandwich cake recipe video at the top of the comments, and I love you guys. Please don't forget, if you're not subbed, go ahead and hit the subscribe and hit the bell. Make sure the bell is on all, because it gives you 3 choices. So go ahead and click the bell and make sure it's on all to get all the notifications, and give the video a thumbs up, because that's important too. So anyways, I will see you guys later. Have a great Saturday, and yeah, just keep being kind to each other. Take into consideration the total picture. Give a second thought to people before you jump to conclusions. That's all I'm asking. Keep being kind to each other. There's too much meanness in this world. We will talk soon. Bye guys, thanks for watching.